This next activity, I'm going to be creating macros using Visual Basic. Now, I'm not going to be typing in the code because it will take me ages to type it in line by line, but I will show you the code that was used to create this activity. So basically, what we're going to be doing is making two macros. Both of them will insert formatted columns into my spreadsheet. Now, the first one is going to insert just a list in the normal labeled column. So it says here, Control L, and what it does is it's just inserted a normal text-based column into column A. Every time I press Control L, it adds it in always into row A and pushes the rest along. So I'm going to leave just one of them there, and then I'm going to show you the next one, which is insert a calculated column. So this one is Control M, so Control M. Okay, and it looks virtually the same except that there is a little zero down the bottom. That's because when I actually click values into these columns, so let's go 3, 3, 3, 3, it automatically tallies up the values of the column, okay, making it a much speedier process. Now, if you want to see how I program this, or if I was going to do it from scratch, the place I need to go is to the Developer tab once again, and Visual Basic. Now, once I click in here, it shows me a whole page of code. This area up here is the Visual Basic code for the label column, so the one that does not do the calculations. The text here in green is all the data that I'd originally be typing into the record window. So firstly, the name of the macro, what it actually does, my description, and the keyboard shortcut, Control L. I then would type in line by line each of these codes. So it highlights what columns are involved, what ranges does it involve. Obviously, I'm filling in from A1 to A10. Okay, we've got the actual colors that I'm editing in for that. Okay, and basically all of them revolve around formatting. There was no calculations in this actual first macro. Down below it is the second macro that actually has the calculate function. So it already knows a lot of the formatting because of the actual spreadsheet's properties, but it knows now here to put in the actual formula, how to type it in. So when you do this activity, you will need to type in this code line by line into the Visual Basic section. Okay, any slight areas relating to where you put apostrophes, okay, putting apostrophe at the beginning automatically makes it a quotation and not code. Okay, but putting in your quotation marks, colons, and all of that has to be correct, otherwise your coding will not work. So it is a much more difficult way to program a macro, though in saying that you have a lot more control about how the macro works. So give it a try, and once again, make sure you have an area that identifies what the actual shortcuts are to execute the macro. Okay, so give it a shot, and if you're successful, try making some further macros relating to inserting specific types of columns, maybe ones that multiply all the values in the cells or subtract them.